Good morning, everybody. I am ready to play some music today. We are going to be, let me run over and post the link on our website. Website is denverguitarorchestra.com. And from there, you'll get a list of our sheet music, daily tunes that we are working on, schedule, a multi-book series so that you can level up to become a better fingerstyle or classical guitarist. Today we're going to be playing our Segovia Patterns as our daily warm-up. Then we will be playing last song in book number 1, 3 Blind Mice. Book 2 song today is The More We Get Together, a little happy little ditty. And then book 3, Trumpet, Voluntary for those. It's used to be a wedding song. I don't think anybody plays it anymore, but we play it, and makes you sound very, very, very regal. And that's what we're doing today. If we have time, we'll play our classical song of the week called Contentment. It's an odd little song. It's surprisingly, you get stuck in your head a little bit, except there's one note in there that I just can't agree with. But I'm not the composer, so I don't get to choose. Let me post this also on Twitter so that we're famous. HTTPS shift : / All right. Guess I should put the guitar down so make it less awkward. Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. Patience. Okay, and then we put the logo on to the video and tweet. All right, there we go. We are ready for the day. A couple of thoughts, just generally. Most of you guys already know this, but tomorrow will be. There's no meeting tonight. Normally on Thursday nights we meet for Beatles. That will switch to Tuesday nights starting next week, and instead of 8 p.m. it'll be 7 p.m. So an hour earlier, and on Tuesdays is what will be happening for guitar ensemble. And then we'll continue on the Beatles music, into November when we'll pull out a couple Christmas tunes, and then we'll theoretically, if everything's going well, we might do a concert. And then Friday we play through the songs for the week. We always focus in on making sure we do book 1 song. That's the most important thing we do. We'll finish up book 1 on Friday. We'll also play that classical song Contentment, and I notice I didn't pull down the PDF into the Friday list, but I will. And then we also have Streets of Laredo, This Little Light of Mine, and Trumpet Voluntary. If we can get to the book 2 song, Simple Gifts, Skip to Malou, and The More We Get Together, we will also do those. We'll probably, almost certainly for sure, skip to Malou. All right, so there's that. Vic is in this morning. She says the sound is good. It's cloudy up in Eugene. I have to miss Friday classes, but we'll be there for evening classes. What? All right, okay. See, that's what I knew. As we're getting beyond the terrifying time we've just been through, people are starting to get their book clubs going again, get their knitting groups back together, get their ukulele groups back together. I've gotten a note from 2 ukulele groups already that they're starting to meet again. So we've got people getting out and about, which will make it less interesting for them to come and play music with us. I'm going to continue the stuff we do here during the day on Wednesday nights. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, we'll cram everything in to a 1-hour session, and we'll roll from week to week on that, trying to make sure that you've had a chance to play all. What are we up to? Almost 180 some songs. Let's double check. And when last count, 173 songs. Make sure you've had a chance to play everything on that list multiple times. Elizabeth ate it in. She got sun up there in northern Colorado. Here in Denver, we have blue skies, but it's still kind of overcast out there. I think there must be a cloud passing in front of the sun, so it looks a little weird. All right, let's get our Segovia pattern up and running. We'll carry the Segovia pattern over into the Wednesday night class. I'm not positive how we'll continue to do it. I think it's not all of you want to do it. Not all of you need it. I need it, so that's why I'm doing it. But It's not necessarily for everybody. All right, Segovia Patterns, measures 2 and 3. Let's get them done, knock them out, make sure that we're feeling comfy with those. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty. Let's try it one more time. The thumb was getting in the way again. Got to work on this thumbnail. From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. Totally blew the ending there. Totally blew the last 8 notes. I don't know what happened there. I think I got up on the wrong string or something. Anyway, that's Segovia. Whatever. I'll work on it. We'll get it better tomorrow. I've had a few good days and as always, a few bad days. Pauline has made it in. Good morning. Sunny and windy. 56 up in Northern California. That sounds kind of iffy there. Should I contact you for new Beatles music even when there is no class tonight? I don't have any new Beatles music for you guys yet. I'm putting together Yellow Submarine and Octopus Garden. It's taking me more time to do that than I thought it would, as always. And so I don't have that yet. And when I get ready to post it, I will send you guys out an email. How about that? That way you'll know. So there's no class tonight and there's no new Beatles music. But look at the list that would have been for tonight and make sure that you have all of those. And what I'd do tonight is I'd just play through the list. That's what I would do, right? You got 16 songs that we're actually working on. We're not working on Imagine. I can stand. I like Imagine just fine, but I put that off till the Christmas period because it's a bit much. We are working. We have 16 of them that are active on our list, and so if I were you, just play through the Beatles tunes tonight. And if you play all 16 songs, send me a note and say I played all 16, and my fingers are bleeding. That's what I would do. I don't have anything new for you tonight. But I will probably have that done by the weekend, theoretically. Right? I was going to get some stuff done last night, and I sat on the sofa and did nothing last night. That's what I did last night, which was not ideal. So, all right, let's grab Three Blind Mice. Let's finish up our study of Three Blind Mice, and then tomorrow, Friday, we will take just a quick moment to talk about when you wrap up the end of book 1, the chord things that you've learned, and just rehash very quickly all of the things that you should have learned in book 1. And so we'll take just a few moments tomorrow to do that. Let's grab a G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Three blind mice. 3 the chords. G chord, we talked about three different, three main ways of holding it, and then a fourth way. G chord with just your ring finger. G chord with ring and pinky. Okay. G chord with middle, ring, and pinky. That's the harder one. Okay. And then finally, G chord as a bar chord with the E shape in front of it. So you have 4 choices for G chords, and with this shape here, which is your F shape, which is really your E shape, it's probably definitely something that should be on your, anytime you see a G chord, put the bar chord on and do that, and then say, oh, thank gosh I don't have to do that all of the time. But this shape is super handy because you also have an A chord right here, which is going to be useful, and then a C chord right here. So all of those, that shape is super handy on guitar and will come up often in arrangements. All right, let's play the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that. And usually when I'm teaching classes in person, on the last night we will have everybody do all of their chords, make sure everybody can put their chords on correctly, and then we almost always play through all of the melodies, and that's where we leave it, because book 1, if you can play the melodies and you can play the chords, then book 2 is where we dive into tough acts a little bit more completely. But for some of us, we want to be able to play the tough acts as well. This one is particularly challenging, so let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sitting here hearing this horrible rattle coming out of his guitar, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Cheap tuner, that's what it is. All right, 3 blind mice, there we go. Next up, let's go grab The More We Get Together out of book 2. And, okay, again, let's talk G chord and D chord a little bit. All right, cool. All right, so G chord. The more we get together going from G to D is going to be a normal thing you have to do. Index finger drops down, middle finger drops way down, ring finger jumps up. Together. Back to G chord. Let your index finger be your guide. Boom, boom, boom. Together. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Okay, and then my page turner did not turn on for some reason, so I was like, all right, I can just hear the chord changes. That's never a bad idea. If you're working on a song, try not to use the sheet music and just play. The more we get together. You can really feel the chord changes. And that's how the guys, when you go down to the folk music jams, or you see guys working in bars that don't play together regularly, they're just listening to each other, and they know, hey, here comes the chord change, okay? And they go with their best guess on what the next chord is, and usually they're right because they've been doing it a while. And so it's a good idea sometimes to play without using the sheet music, just strumming through the chords. Make sure you know your chords first, and you can feel that moment when they change. Let's play the melody. It's all 1s, 2s, and 3s, so no, let's just play it in open position. Position 1, 1, 2. Repeat it. I don't know how many times we set up to go 3 times through. The more we get together, the more we dance together, the more we play together. So you're supposed to go around 3 times. This song, if you're teaching another player, right, the big key is G to D to back to G. The other thing that shows up in this song is playing in open position, but you're using all 4 of the melody strings, and so you're really, like, I messed it up a couple of times. Being on the wrong string. And so a lot of times when you're teaching people, that's something they're struggling with, is I'm going to pluck this note and it's on the wrong string. Right? Have you ever done that? I've done that a couple times. All right. Let's grab our tough axe. We'll walk through it and then we'll play it a couple times. So first note's open, obviously. G chord, ring finger on the 2nd string. First string's already open. Hit the 3 that's already down. Lose your chord, grab the 1. Put your chord back on. Now I just go ahead and grab the whole D. Notice on this I gave you 0, 0, 2, which means you're going to be hitting the bass note as the A. Okay. Now normally if it's a D chord, we'd like to just use 0, 2, but it felt a little thin to me, so I just include the 5th string. Even though the bass note's not right, it just sounds fuller and better as the chord. Plus, we're going to hit that bass note twice here anyway. And then back, measure 4, go back to your G chord. 3 on the 2nd string. Whoops. Open G. Again, D chord, hit 3 strings. For 2 beats, D chord, G chord, D chord, G chord. Just a transition moment, bong, to finish up and start over again. What I think I'm noticing is that, we've just spent a bunch of time working on 3 Blind Mice with this alternate G chord. Probably makes some sense on this one as well to play that alternate G chord, because you've got that 1 that sneaks in there, 3, 1, like on measure 1, for example. Dun, dun. Then I can just switch from pinky to index, just like we did in 3 Blind Mice. And I can leave these 2 planted, and that allows the chord to continue ringing through. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, let's see, it's 2 beat counting. 1, 2. Second ending. And just play it. My note here is playing at different tempos. This is a song probably, well, I set it up at 100, right? But probably if you play it with people, you'll play it at a more jaunty pace. Dun, 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 dun. And you'll probably make some notes a little bit longer and a little bit shorter, because my friends are your friends and your friends or my friend, right, or whatever. So we have a tendency to do that just a little bit. When we sing it, you might pull that off with your guitar as well. And then my other one is building right-hand patterns to affect the emotional storyline. We're always talking about right-hand patterns when we're doing chords, right? And you're always thinking about, I'm going to try it this way, then I'm going to try it this way, I'm going to try it this way, and I'm going to try it this way, and trying different things. Waltz time, it's a little bit, usually it's bong, chunk, chunk, bong, chunk, chunk. All right, there's the more we get together. The arpeggios on here are backwards, so you might try those, just see how you're doing on that. All right, and then we want to spend a little bit more time on Trumpet Voluntary, because it is definitely not a song that will just leap out at you as being like, oh yeah, that's my favorite song from my childhood. It's not that song. The only note I have on here is the melody line in measure 16. I included the tough axe there, and I didn't mean to, so I would scratch out that chord underneath the first note of measure 16. Just don't play that chord, right? It's an A chord. You'd be just fine doing it, but we don't want that, right? And the melody line is meant for you to play melody and somebody that you know plays the chords, and everybody's just delighted and happy. Let's talk about the layout of the song. 4-beat count in, and then we're going to play down through measure 16. Okay, notice the first ending starts at measure 9, but then it doesn't end until 16. So we play all the way down through 16, then we come back to the top. Second time around at measure 8, you got to kind of be focused, because you're going to jump all the way to 17. And when you get to 17, then of course you play to the end. The end. By the way, that's the cool part of the song. 17 to 24 is really cool. And then your note at 24 says DC al fine, de capo al fine, de capo al fine. Go to the head and play to the finish. And so that's different than we often see DSL codas, which are a little bit more complicated to deal with. DC al fine means, hey, go back to the top, play it until you find the fine. And so the last time you'll play the top a third time, and then you fine at measure 8. Okay, at the end of measure 8. So that's how we play that. The chords are A, D, and E7, right? And so those are all book 1 chords, and so no reason to dive into them overly. Let's play the melody. So you'll recognize the melody, you really will. And then when we put it together, it ends up being a very regal sounding song. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry. From 13, go. To the top. Jump all the way to 17. Back to the top. Finish up there, okay. And when we play the tough acts, you'll actually play the other two chords, bum bum blum, right? And you see there's a fermata on there. We'll talk about that when we get there. But hopefully that's at some point in your life you may have run across this tune. Wanted to talk about, I messed up measures 9 through 16 pretty good. What I did was I thought, oh, I'll be smart and I will play up the neck a little bit, but it didn't help out a bit. So what I would suggest at 9, just play it in first position, and then slide to 5th position at 10, and then back to the first position. Right, and you get that 4 with your pinky, and that makes much more sense. So probably at 10 and 14, slide to 5th position and then play the rest of it in first position. I think you'll probably be more successful. I know I would have been. Let's see, Elizabeth asks, when I see this, I hear a trumpet on the melody playing trills on the measures with the dotted quarters on the third. So trills. I will talk about them. I will not be able to play them very well. So when I'm playing the trills on measures with the dotted quarters, like on the third beat. So let me see if I can find a good one. Measure 1. Let's use that one. So trills. Right? You hit your string over and over. Sometimes you'll use 2 fingers. The problem with this one, if you can't really play open note trill, so you'd have to find your 0 on the first string, on the second string, which is up at 5. Okay, so you're going to go 3, 5. That's what you're going to do, but you want to make it a trill, so you're going to have to so take your index finger up to the 4, play the 5 with your index finger trailing behind. Right. I think they're a lot more work than they probably are for, probably a lot more work than is you'd want to do for this song. But generally with trills, you hold the fret behind the one you want to trill on and do that. You can sometimes just do open and depending on where it is on the fretboard. Okay, and then that. But you're basically doing hammer on pull off, hammer on pull off, hammer on hammer on hammer. So multiple hammer on. I don't like them. I think what I do like is when you see a highly competent, fully trained, well-suited guitarist do them. Then you're like, oh yeah, that's what I meant. But I think those take years to develop, and knowing that they exist and it's something to mess around with might be fun to try. So measure 5, another place where you're probably going to play the 3, then you're going to slide up with your index on 4 and your other finger on 5, right, and like that, and give it a try. You know, put your index finger right behind it, and then use either your middle or your ring finger as little mini hammer-ons, and you get that trill sound. Advanced guitar players use that. I don't think that regular chickens rooting around here in the farmhouse do it, but it might not be. It's definitely another technique to put in your toolbox. That's an advanced technique. Okay, great thought, Elizabeth. I think that's fun. Let's play the tough axe. This one's not so bad. It's really not. Okay, because it sounds classical, my first thought is to go with my claw, so I'm going to play claw, but if you want to do your thumb, that works as well. Grab your D chord, 3 strings, decorative 2, A chord, ring finger up, D chord on 2, decorative notes, 3, chord, D chord, O3, A chord, okay, now let's talk very quickly about that notation there. You'll see this a lot on guys that put their tab up on the internet. They put down what they play, not necessarily what's easy to play. And so I give you a little taste of that here. If I'm at measure 4 and I see an A chord and my melody note's a 0, 100% of the time I'm going to take my thumb. Right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give a full big strum there. But if you play claw, you can skip the 4th string here. So now you've got 0, 2, 2, 0 with these 3 fingers, your thumb on A. Okay, so that's what's written there. Is it gives you a chance when you see a skip like that, you can't use your thumb. You got to use your claw. And it's just, I only gave you an example of it so we would talk about it. I guess there's another example of over on page 2, but. The idea here is when you see a skip like that, that means that they are recommending you pluck it. I generally ignore those things and I just drop in the full chord. Okay, so measure 4, let's play from there. Ready, play. D chord at 5, decoration, A chord, decoration, 3-0, D chord. Pinky, D chord. Let that ring a little extra long and then go in. Index finger on 1, pinky on 4, 2, 4. Okay, and then you go to our famous bar on 2, pinky on 5. This one comes up often. This shape, again, I've given you, you're going to hit the root note in the 0 and then the top 3 strings, 2, 2, 5, right? But if you're using your thumb, you just ignore the gap. Okay, and then hit your 7, 5, 3. Back to your D chord. 4. And that's kind of hard. Make sure you're using your pinky on that. Then D chord. D chord. Pinky. A chord. Go back and play down through measure 8, and then you're going to skip to 17. Let's go do 17 on a little bit more challenging section here, but it sounds really, really nice. By the way, part of the reason Elizabeth hears that trill is that trills are much easier and much more common on wind instruments, right? We do it a lot. And so a lot of these songs that are meant to be played in a little bit more regal fashion by an orchestra or a small ensemble, you will hear a lot of trilling. When you're a solo guitarist and you're like, okay, I'm going to put some trills in there, you know you're setting yourself up a little bit to be like, oh God, I hope it goes well this time. Bach's Bourrée, I see people do that one a lot, and there's trills in there as well, and you see some people do them better than others. And so yeah, trills are definitely a cool thing to do, but they're definitely sort of a technique you're going to need to practice on for a while. Just like, you know, the F chord from yesterday, going to take you a little while to work that out. All right, measure 17, 0-2, and then you got to have your pinky there. It won't work otherwise. So you can already tell 17 and 18 are going to be tough measures. So grab your D chord and then be ready to get your pinky up where it goes. Sorry. Two measures right there is probably the only two measures I need to practice on the whole song, and I need to practice them a whole bunch. Okay, and then 19, grab that. A chord at 20. Ring finger down. So there's that. I'd say, again, major 17 and 18 present a really challenging moment. You're probably going to just have to take your finger or your eyes off the paper. They're both the same. Okay, so let's see if I can do it. All right, let's play the whole song and then we'll be set for the day. Take your time through it. We'll not go fast and see how it comes out. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. to the top. Now jump over to 17. Last time to the top. And I realized as I was on to the second repeat that I had taken us down to 8 and gone back up to the top for no reason whatsoever, right? We got away with it because it sounds fine, but you're not. The notation doesn't say to do that. First time through, play all the way down through 16, then come back and do 1 through 8. I go all through all this discussion about how to play that. If you guys don't mind, I like to grab Contentment real quick and just play it one time so that we can have had the opportunity to play the classical piece right one last time before tomorrow. And so let's take just a second to look at that. I know it might run us over, but that's okay. Let's play Contentment. 4-beat count-in, grab your A chord. I think that it helps. Okay, usually helps to have that, and your pinky's up on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not the right ending. All right, let's try one more time. All right, from the top one more time. No wonder I wanted to play it. I'm like, I can't play it. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. okay song. There's one stupid note in there. Otherwise, it's fine. Let's see. Did I miss some stuff over here? Vic says, I've learned so much about all kinds of music in your class. Isn't that kind of the cool part about guitar? Partly, like I give a couple of private lessons to a couple of guitar guys, old guys, 50s and up, my age and older. They want to play the 12 songs from their teenage years, and that's really all they want to play. And so they don't really get a chance to explore what is available on guitar and all of the different things and all of the different ways. So we go through the Rolling Stones, and we go through Pink Floyd, and we go through whatever it is that they want to do. And it's very narrowly focused. Like, this is what they want to do. But it's kind of, I always get kind of like, I don't really like this kind of approach, because you're missing out. You're missing out on all this. This instrument will do everything. It will do everything. And so it's fun, I think, sometimes just to take a class, because they're going to bring you songs you never heard of before. Already in my work with Alex over at Metro, keeps bringing me songs. I'm like, I hate this song. But it's definitely broadening my horizons, trying to do some different things. And I think that, again, is another reason to show up to my class or anybody's class, or get together of some sort, to sort of force your brain into new avenues. And so thank you, Vic. That's exciting. That makes me happy. Pauline, I agree with Vic. My skills have improved too. Yeah. Great lesson. Thanks, Nancy. Good to see you. We're definitely doing it the hard way. You guys know that. It's a little bit slower than if you just, learn to strum your favorite song. But it's going to really create a great skill set. And honestly, you should be able to wake up every single morning and know you have more to do on the guitar, on the ukulele, on the harmonica, whatever. Not so much harmonica. Once you get harmonica, then you just spend the rest of your life trying to make the sound better. But with guitar, for sure, there's always another technique. I mean, we've never talked about trills at all, and here comes Elizabeth. Hey, but this sounds good with trills. And you're like, oh gosh, it probably would if I could do them. So I do like that about this instrument. It will let you play heavy metal. It will let you play punk rock. It will let you play lute music. It will let you play Baroque music. It's probably best when it's playing the 19th century classical repertoire of the guitar masters. It's not too bad with early 20th century as well. So and you can play jazz, and you can play gypsy jazz, and you can play, you can put a little Scott Joplin on here. I mean, it's a very versatile instrument. And not very much sounds terrible on it. I'm trying to think if anything sounds terrible on guitar. Probably everything sounds great. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. One more day of daytime classes, and then we will change everything up. You guys should know I am going through a lot of angst over this, about getting rid of this time slot, and I think I'm doing the right thing for everybody, but I don't know for sure, so we'll find out. If it's terrible, we'll fix it. Elizabeth, check out Jeremiah Clark, Trumpet Voluntary, Britain Shall Prevail on Trumpet. Yes, do that. Elizabeth knows all of the songs. Thanks, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Vic, good to see you. Oh yeah, Vic, we'll miss you tomorrow. You'll be out gadding about, and I will catch up with the rest of you guys on tomorrow. Peace.